Another Arabia. Very nice. And okay, opponent is exactly 1,000 elo. Let's put it on your point of view again. So I think your Dark Age, the main issue was just idling the TC a little bit too much, but you do have a build order that you seem to be following, and so yeah, it seems to be going pretty well. Let's talk a little bit about how I would set up this map. This map's a bit more open. So this map is like a 2 woodline map. Yeah, so you get between 2 and 4 woodlines on Arabia. Last map was 4 woodlines, so it was easy to wall. This is just a 2 woodline map, which means that the back is completely exposed because both the woodlines are forward. So you have to keep that in mind that you're not really going to be able to wall this super well. So this is the kind of map where you want to go really aggressive in Feudal Age, make lots of units and use them. So this kind of map is where you want to practice doing that. It's a bit harder to go aggressive though. But if you were to play optimally this map, that's how you would play it. And so eventually you could get a wall all the way through here, but I wouldn't want to do that right away. And then, of course, wall this together. Probably just in front here, even to the TC, or down to the stone. Or actually, well, I guess that's wall to the edge, so you could go to here as well. Reinforce this with like a market blacksmith or something up here. Something like that. This is just super awkward to wall this side. So you don't really want to focus on walls super early on this map. Okay. So yeah, we're still adding the TC a little bit here. So I think that it's just using the select TC. I actually control group my initial TC just because then I can jump to it easier with double tapping the button. And I find that's a little bit more comfortable than using select all TC and then hitting spacebar to center the camera. Okay. All good walling info. Yeah, I actually have a video. I have 2 videos on walling, I think. I have a few videos. Do I have a chat command for it? There we go. Check those out if you want to see my like scripted responses to how to wall. That video is good. So I thought I was 0 TC idle. Yeah. That's 18 seconds. That's almost a villager. So something is going wrong. It's probably during the boar lure. That's usually when you kind of mess things up. Here, let's see. Where was the idle time? So we had 1 second kind of at the start. That's fine. Another few seconds here just randomly. Yeah, it was when you were sending that vill out to boar lure. We didn't idle during that one. But it's just like it's a few seconds here and there. It's never for a long period of time, but it's a few seconds here and there, and that's what it is. And it all adds up. So we want to make sure to just spam the select TC button and then the create villager button just a lot. That's why you'll see pros when they play, they're just spamming the button even when it doesn't even make sense to do so. They already have vills in the queue, they have no food, they're just spamming the TC button and create vill. Then you don't have to think about it. I do that all the time too. You never have to think about it if you just do that. Yeah, it's about a lot of unnecessary actions, but it's not that hard to do in the early game, and it just kind of gets you into that rhythm. Okay, so on the Feudal Age, let's see. Barracks is pretty much on time. Oh, this build probably should have just been building that, right? There we go, and stables there. Do we not? Oh, we don't have the wood. What did we spend the wood on? We just didn't spend, yeah, just didn't quite send the villagers to wood fast enough. That's what it was. Oh boy. So we're about 25 seconds later. So we could have gone up 1 villager later and it would have been the exact same timing. And going up 1 villager later means that you gain extra resources because you have that 1 villager working from before Feudal Age. So each villager on the way up collects 50 wood. So in 130 seconds, which is the time it takes to get to Feudal Age, they collect 50 wood. So you have 1 additional villager, you're getting quite a bit more wood. It makes a pretty big difference. And those are just permanent resources that you don't gain by going up later. Interesting scouting pattern. Yeah, I mean, I scout like this a lot too, just to avoid the TC. But yeah, unfortunately, you didn't see anything that tells you where the opponent's TC is, though. You kind of know where the relics are, so you have to assume they're up here. But that's kind of higher level using the relics to think about that. Yeah, this wall, again, it's so big. If the opponent just attacks, you're kind of dead. If the opponent just sends the spears forward, this Vill's dead. He gets in, he has archer follow up or something, and then it's GG. So it's pretty risky to do this. Okay, I don't think we ever used the stable as well. So as soon as the stable's up, we want to be making scouts, and we should have like 3 scouts here. Imagine 3 scouts at the gold here. That's 2 vills down. Do that to avoid the TC too many games running into. Yeah, exactly. Too much to focus on the eco while scout is moving out. Yeah, exactly. It's completely fine. It's not an issue. Kind of weird walls. Looks like you were thinking about this wall, and then you were like, wait a sec, I can go up to here. But again, I'm not sure what's happening, but I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Wait, who's just? Oh, it doesn't show shift queues in this. I'm pretty sure you're selecting your vills and then like shift queuing the walls, but then you have to issue a movement command as well. Yeah, like this villager. I don't know. Just the way that you're placing buildings is not quite right. Yeah, you're definitely just holding shift before you, or when you're placing buildings from this, and then they have to finish the resource before they build. So definitely fix that. Yeah. Also, there's like 2 walls here, or 2 holes. There's a hole here, and then there's a hole here. So hopefully you realize that. They're hard to see, but yeah. Anyways, okay, getting the scouts together would be good. And this Feudal Age was a bit better, though. But the opponent's Feudal Age was also better than the previous game. Ooh, there's the housed. Oh, we have no house coming up, too. So it's always good to place houses as part of the wall. That helps prevent this. But, oh, we're still not making a house. Oh, yeah. When you get a house like that, just select all your woodline vills and just build a house close to the woodline. That's usually pretty good. Because then you get the house up a bit faster. Now we're kind of committed to having a lot more idle TC time. At least we got Town Watch here. But yeah, if we're going to make units, we need to use them. So select all military is another really good hotkey to learn. Because then you wouldn't have forgotten about this guy. He would have just joined the group. If you just use select all military, then you don't need to circle select. You just do some hotkeys, and then it just selects all the military units, and then you just go forward. It's super, super simple. 4 bills build the house 2 times as fast as 1. Yeah, exactly. Need to practice versus AI microing scouts while making farms. Yeah, I have a scenario for that, actually. Where you can have 2 players doing that. Yeah, 2 spears. Kind of have to get it. You can't really do anything against 2 spears, so yeah. Hopefully you're using control groups for your scouts as well, so you can jump back to the scouts fast. There we go. Okay. So let's see what's next. We have armor coming in, but that's just going to delay Castle Age. What does armor do? So armor allows you to fight archers and a little bit more effectively. Are you going to be fighting archers with 4 scouts when the opponent has a bunch of spears? Probably not. So getting armor at this stage is probably not going to do anything. I mean, I guess it allows you to fight villagers better as well, but it delays your Castle Age. So generally what you'd want to do, if you're only going to make 4 scouts, you just want to go to Castle Age. If you had like 10 scouts right now, which you could have, then armor makes sense. Then you're going to take a big fight. But if you have such low military numbers, upgrades don't really matter that much. For example, the armor upgrade is 150 resources. 2 scouts is 160 resources. So if you were to have 6 scouts instead of 4, that's pretty much better in all situations than just having 4 with armor. So yeah, armor definitely a little bit too early in this game. But yeah, you're going to be able to go up here. I would just cancel this vill, force drop the gold and go up. You could make 1 more vill, but it's going to be a bit later. At least the opponent idled a lot more, but the opponent is going to be up a little bit faster here. Is 4 scouts versus spear a good attack? Well, it just depends on what that frees up. If it's 4 scouts versus a spear, and then he's got another spear, and then he's got another spear, then it's probably not good. But if it's like 4 scouts against a spear, and then you can kill vills, then maybe it's okay. Kind of depends on the situation. Okay. So let's see. Are we going to make a second stable? Looks like the game plan is the same. I don't really understand going to stone early. We're not really using the stone anyways. Also, stone mining's kind of not worth it. So it's 15% more efficient for 3 vills. 15% on 3 vills is like 45%, you could say. So that's not even half a villager worth, yet it costs 175 resources. So it's less than half a villager for 175 resources. That 175 resources could be invested into something else, like getting bow saw. Even gold shaft mining is pretty decent. Yeah. So I think effectively using your resources is definitely something you want to be thinking about. I like the second stable this game, though, so I think this is better than last game so far. And, well, you will kind of have enough for a castle, funnily enough. But, let's see. So, opponent's going crossbowing. Opponent's kind of doing the same thing as the previous opponent, just with a different civ. TC here. Okay, nice. That's a good spot, but, of course, the opponent could just kill you, right? It's so risky to just go for this TC before making knights. If you make knights... Okay, so, picture this. Okay, this TC should probably be on the wood as well. It should be up here. To get both resources, might as well. But yeah, you get this TC while you build up knights. You get 6 knights or so. If he shows up here, then yeah, you go down here. If he shows up down here, maybe you can fight it. But going for this TC with no military is super, super risky. Also, university does nothing for you, so we don't need a university. So that's another waste of 200 resources, which could be invested into farms. So instead of university, we go 3.5 farms, which is more food, which is more knights, which is more villagers. But yeah, university is not going to do anything. You know he's here too, so I'd be concerned about losing these vills. I would almost retreat these vills to somewhere else. I do like that you have town watch though, so you can see. It's going for a gold TC and wood TC. That's why I went out of the base. Yeah, it's a good TC location, but risky to do at that timing. Because if the opponent had his units in position properly, then you lose the vills, and that's not great. Yeah, opponent could have killed you if he had just come forward and attacked a bit earlier. At this point, you are starting to make the knights, which is good. Okay. But yeah, this TC should have been up just a little bit more, because it could have been on both resources, which would have been perfect. And you do have better upgrades than last game, which is good, but we do need to have +2 armor. So instead of gold shaft mining, +2 armor on these things is super key. Because you cannot fight the opponent's army until +2 armor. It's a huge upgrade. Okay. Yeah, the main reason this is working is because the opponent's just not using his army. He's like kind of chilling in the middle of the map. But this is not a good fight for you. Or at least it shouldn't be. The opponent's not really microing at all, and he's not using his monks, so that's kind of good. Okay, it's actually going to work, but it shouldn't work. +2 armor is usually pretty necessary before taking any fights. Yeah, I mean, it ended up working. Shouldn't have worked, but I would recommend getting +2 armor on the knights before taking any fights against crossbowmen in general, unless you heavily outnumber. And you can steal the relic right outside the monastery, too. That's funny. Okay, so far, so good. We are idling the TC a lot, though. So we keep seeing just a little bit of idle TC here and there. And that's just from not queuing vills. You have the food for it, but this is just from not queuing vills. So paying a little bit more attention, spamming that select all TCs, gonna go a long way. Got a castle coming up in the front. Really good castle position again. Like, this is a perfect castle position. It covers the front, kind of covers this attack path, especially if you could wall a little bit here. That'd be amazing. Imagine like a stone gate right here. Just a little bit, just to prevent the opponent from walking through. Or you just go for another castle here. It's probably gonna be fine. Okay. Another kind of awkwardly positioned mining camp. Would have liked to see it on the 3 tile side, just here. Monks are out, knights are out, and oh, the big bada boom. Oh, could have been better though. You got 1. If it was 2 strong hits, 2 central hits, that would have been all those crossbowmen dead. And that's a perfect castle. Nice. You go for the exact location. So, yeah, it looks like you are thinking about the overall game plan pretty well here, which is good to say. The fundamentals are there for like structuring the game. now it comes down to using the units a little bit more effectively. I would say that you're gonna gain a lot. Like, you probably lose a lot of games in sort of early Feudal Age or early Castle Age when the opponent actually attacks you. That's my prediction. Because you're super, super defenseless during those times. And I think just learning to make military a little bit earlier and using it is gonna go a long way. Just waiting on Paladin typically. Yeah, exactly. So I would suggest learning some 1 TC plays. Just 1 TC with 3 stable knights. Spam knights as much as possible on Castle Age. And just attack. Attack when you have like 6, 8 knights. Make sure to get +2 armor. Learning to play like that is gonna go a long way. And at this point, well, your economy is in a pretty good shape, but Koreans can definitely fight this. Okay, would love to see a castle supporting the Trebs as well. Ooh, Axemen are not gonna do anything though. Oh boy. Well, I mean, they killed the 3, okay, I mean, okay. A little bit of army mismanagement by the opponent, and, well, you win. That works out. I like that you waited for enough Trebs to go forward, though. So this was a lot better executed. The main thing that you're missing is the final armor on the Cavalier. Final armor is 2 pierce armor and 1 mail armor, but 2 pierce armor is huge. Because ARBs, they already do so little damage that just knocking off 2 attack is like cutting their attack almost in half. So it's super good. It's like 33% because they do 10 damage. Something like that. If you have 4 pierce and you make it 6, then it's like 6 to 4. Yeah. There we go. Higher elo with good micro, then I wouldn't win this. Yeah. Didn't even know there was another armor? Wait, you got it last game, though. But yeah, the final armor. There we go. You got ahead here, though. Your mid game is decent for the booming phase. So I think you're just out-booming your opponents here. And the overall strategy, like you play pretty cautious, which is good as well. It can go a long way. Wow, both neutral golds are down here. But yeah. Playing a little bit more rush style is gonna help rebalance sort of your skills. But first, fundamentally, learning select all hotkeys for all of your buildings that you're using. You don't even need to learn it for anything except for the TC. Start with the TC and the stable. If you can do select all TCs, select all stables, that's gonna just completely change how easy it feels to play the game. Fundamental hotkeys at this point. All right, so let's take a look at the statistics here. Yeah, in the end, it was kind of a stomp here. Oh, wow, yeah. Even the economy is looking pretty good. And yeah, cool. Yeah, with 20 APM, it just tells me you're not using hotkeys enough. That's basically the main thing. There we go.